Hi everyone, this is the Zord Bay, and I'm Hazen. This is Mitch, and today we're going to be reviewing something very near and dear to our hearts. Something that, dare I say, defines our friendship. News was released yesterday that all of the Toys R Us stores nationwide were going out of business. It was released in September that the company was having some problems and they were filing for bankruptcy. Then in January there was a list of, I think it was about 180 stores were going out of business. Our local close to home one was one of those on the list. But then as of yesterday, which was March 16th, or March 16th, the whole company had was going under, and they were closing all 800 plus nationwide stores. So we decided we'd take the opportunity today and come and do a review of the store in general, just because it was such a big part of our lives growing up as children. Harkening back, I remember the first time we actually hung out. We came and just chilled at Toys R Us and walked around and stuff like that, and that was 16 years ago. So we're gonna just take you on a small adventure, and yeah, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm looking forward to getting in there for the last time.
Get in there and just spend some time, look around, and maybe get some deals, and we're gonna share this with you guys. So, all right, thanks. All right, everyone, we're back, and here we are. We're walking around inside now. A lot of people, very busy at the moment for how things have normally been here, but they are doing at least I think it's a 60% off original price on everything, up to 40% off. Different prices for different things. To be quite honest, it's sad to see this place in this much disarray. It's a
Mega Man item.
Nice. Randomly. That's always good. But I mean, the place is cluttered. A lot of things on the floor. We're just going to give you a quick rundown of our memories as children here walking around, and we're going to show you kind of some things right here, right off the bat, where you walk in. Right now we're in the board game section. This used to be, back when we were kids, this used to be the original. It wasn't even the R zone then. It was just where they kept the video games, and even they weren't even kept over here. It used to be an aisle or two.
The aisles were going this way.
Yeah, they were vertical aisles, and now they're all horizontal and like diagonal. It's really weird. But they used to have tickets, and you had to go in and you had a picture of the game cartridge case, and you walked over and you grabbed the ticket, and then you went to the front and they got you out the ticket, or they got you out the cartridge, and you had to pay for it at the register. That's how you did it then. They didn't have the games in a locked case.
And they were selling SNES, NES,
Yeah.
Game Gear, Sega
Genesis,
Virtual Boy.
I
bought my Virtual Boy here.
Yeah, I bought a lot of my first video games here at this. By the way, we're
Super
reviewing.
Nintendo,
This is the Washington, Pennsylvania Toys R Us, and they had a lot of the Tiger video games, the actual R Zone video game. Remember they had that one computer monitor that you could walk up to. It was a TV that had a bunch of buttons on it, and you could play trailers for the games. You could just sit at the one console right next to like the Super Nintendo and watch trailers for video games that were coming out. I remember a lot of Super Nintendo games. I remember specifically watching the trailer for Illusion of Gaia. I used to run in here and watch that all the time. I don't remember why. I mean, it's a great game, but yeah. So now this section is board games, puzzles, and small children's like Playmobil and things like that. So if I can, just trying to like get you a good view of what's going on. And like I said, this is it's really sad because like everything is emptied off the shelves. Here's some Playmobil items. Pirate ship, and it says history, but it's a pyramid, and those look incredibly dope. Why would you not want to come here and buy those with your children? Mitch, you have anything you want to chime in right now?
No.
Okay.
No, just...
All right. Well, continuing on, we're gonna walk on back. See, also back when we started coming here when we were kids, it was before Babies R Us was a thing. They didn't have that. So like Toys R Us expanded over the years, especially with the buyout of like KB Toy Store. We look back at like other. There was Children's Palace, there was Toy City, there was KB Toys. Toys R Us was the best on the market at the time, and that's why it thrived for so long. But now, I mean, with the advent of, you know, the Walmarts and Targets and Amazon shopping, eBay, it's just less and less. I mean, we can cover all that later on if you want. Yeah, we'll go over all that in a little bit. We have some time. Things we want to talk about this, but now we're crossing over here into like the Imaginext toys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything to say right now except for how sad it is. Like it really hasn't set in on both of us, on either of us, of how like this is actually happening. This is probably going to be the last time we walk around in a Toys R Us. So I mean, for that it's really hard to like think about. So that sea monster looks like Cthulhu.
Yes.
So that's pretty fresh. So I mean, I guess we could cut back with you here in a second when we have more to say. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
since we're in the Lego section,
Oh, yeah,
this Lego section
Yeah.
was, I remember it was over there, like on that
Yeah,
side. It was
the Lego section was the
aisle on the
last
left.
aisle, and it was a really long aisle. It was all Legos and I mean various other building block toys. You had your Mega Blocks, your Lincoln Logs, your Tinker Toys. But yeah, it's all right here now in like the heart, right off the side from the board games. You wanna? Okay. So I'm trying to see. There's not even a lot of board games here right now. So. Legos were not marked down earlier, but I guess they're completely liquidating everything. Alright, something else we just remembered. The center of the store, it used to be where the bicycles were. They're now relegated to the back corner. Sadly to say, I completely chalk that up to the fact that, you know, more people, I mean, when we were coming here, it was the late 80s, early 90s. That was when, you know, kids were excited to get outside and play. Now, you know, that's an afterthought. It's in the back of your mind. It's in the back of the store. You know, it used to be the first thing. You walk in right past the registers and you could look at the bikes. The video games were in the back. Now the video games are in the front, and that's exactly what has caused this issue. I mean, you know, kids, you know, aren't interested in the same things. We're going through the Hot Wheels right now, and like the Matchbox cars. And originally they were right over by the video games, the old video games, back with the tickets. Now we're in a section here that is very near and dear to our hearts. It is, you know, the Power Rangers section and the wrestling section. This may be the coolest aisle in the store for two guys like us.
Yeah. Bakugan was also
Bakugan
adjacent to this aisle. In fact, yeah.
was on the end of this corner at one time. Also at a time, now it's on the opposite side of this aisle. It was Transformer toys. Big lovers of robots and things like that. And we spent a lot of time in this aisle over the years. Originally, spent a lot of money, time. Originally, this aisle these toys were in the back, about 4 aisles down from it went the video games, then the Matchbox cars, and then it got into model kits, and then it was the Power Ranger toys, and then it was like dolls, and then it transferred over to like the Barbie section, and then Legos. That was how the back row of the Toys R Us went.
Yeah.
And and then that in the front of it there was like the small, like I said, there wasn't Babies R Us yet, but there was some baby toys, and then that went over to the bikes, and then it went over to like household like stuff, like your fake kids kitchen set and things like that, and then Legos, because like I said, Legos was a ridiculously long aisle. Yes. And then it was up at the front at the registers. But yeah, so we'll check back in when we have more to say. So anyways, we're back here in the car. We just finished up. Probably, I would say, unless we go to another store. If we do, we'll do another update. Maybe not. I don't think we'd really see anything different. But we just did our final walkthrough of the Washington, PA Toys R Us. Like I said, very sad to see. It was a big struggle to find things, because I mean, obviously this has been worldwide huge news, especially the past week. Mm-hmm. With the company going out of business, so it was pretty packed in there. Everywhere you turned, there was a couple people just rummaging through things. We did find a few good things. Yeah. I'd say we got a good haul. Yeah. For what was left. But it was a struggle. I would say get out there and try and find something if there's anything you're interested in. Just take the opportunity. I mean, yeah, you could buy something on Amazon. But, this is probably the last time you will go to a toy store, a toy exclusive store, and buy something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we brushed over a little bit earlier. Toys R Us did a study a while back. They said most kids nowadays are wanting to play on iPads and like tablets and things like that. Not just video games, but I mean, video games are a part of it, but, most of the times, I mean, I know I see kids, they'll just have their iPad out playing around instead of like when we were kids, actually having robot toys or like He-Man or something like that, and actually spending hours being involved in it and imagining and pretending what you're doing with these toys. Yeah. That just doesn't happen anymore, and that's what's hurt this company. And I mean, they did have a higher overhead, but they had the first toys out. Like, things like Toys R Us would get the first wave, and then Walmart and Target and other subsidiary stores like that. So like, whereas they had a higher price, they had newer things. Now for children, that's not necessarily, a parent with a small child, they don't care about that. As long as they get a toy, that's what they care about. For, your more grown-up adult collectors, that might be a make or break deal. I mean, I see things online, people doing reviews before we even get them in stores here. I mean, we are in southwestern Pennsylvania. That's not a high traffic area, but like, it's definitely, Toys R Us was first in the region to get things. So I think all of that culminating together is what ran this company out of business, and it's a very sad day. I mean, I have a, like I said, first time we hung out, we came here because it's a good place of a lot of memories. I have distinct memories of my parents bringing me here to get me toys. My sister and I running around the aisles, like looking at video games and things like that. Like I said. Yeah.
I just wish it wasn't happening. I mean, there's so many toy exclusive items that places like this would get that, you know, you're just not going to have anymore. It's going to limit the market. A lot of the smaller toy companies are probably going to lose a lot of ground, and they're not going to have as much money to put out detailed toys or exclusives or things that they normally would have put out with a retailer like a toy store, you know, like such as Toys R Us. And it's, you know, you look back at KB Toys, and KB Toys had tons of exclusive toys, and
Definitely.
that was because the market was bigger for toy exclusive toy stores like Toys R Us, KB's, Toyland. So it's like, this is probably, I mean, it's going to hit the
There was competition. You could have a variety. Yeah.
You had more toys, you had more exclusives because people were competing. Now I just hope at this point in time Amazon starts having toy exclusive paints. I mean, we'll just,
I mean, they've already started doing some online like exclusives,
Yeah.
but like,
you know,
it's just,
even this toy right here, you know, you can see it's a Toys R Us exclusive toy. You know, they had a sticker right there, and this is a different paint than the regular one. Even on the back of the box, it's like you can see he's wearing green on the regular one that you can buy at other retailers like Walmart. But I mean, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, that you're just not going to have as many variations just because the market isn't as competitive.
and this is also, I mean, pop vinyls are ridiculously collectible, and I mean, we're not huge collectors of them. We both have a handful at most. They're just not really our thing.
And this is the first one that I bought. All the other ones have been purchased for me.
Yeah.
As gifts.
But pop vinyls, that is an item that, like, you know, several different stores have their own versions. This one here, you know, this, yet again, same thing, Toys R Us exclusive. And this was very special. This toy makes sense with the movie. And nowhere else had this. That's the thing. I saw at GameStop, they had different versions, but they didn't have that one. Not even that color, but like that scenario, what's going on in that toy. So, like, you know, who's going to do that? I know Barnes & Noble's does some, but I mean, even they're struggling from last I heard. But I mean, that's pretty much all we got to say. You know, I think it's like we said, it's been a very hard day. We don't know what the future has for the toy industry. Sadly, I see a lot of it falling apart, but
I see a lot of more adult, them trying to target guys our age and older, really. I mean, and they're going to sell you one toy for $50 to $100 probably. It's like, I already pay $80 for, you know, Bandai's D-Arts line and stuff like that. And that's obviously targeted to, you know, the 30 plus crowd. I mean, but yeah, I see stuff like that, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because what they'll do is, instead of having lines, they'll just release like one from a series and have it be really high end.
I mean, we've already agreed on this. I mean, not that. We're here. We frequent Toys R Us, but I mean, we also are the ones that we pre-order things online. I ordered a lot from Japan directly because the quality is better.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, with that being said, I want to say a quick goodbye, Toys R Us. It's been a lot of good years, and you know, a lot of good memories.
Rest in peace, Jeffrey.
Rest in peace, Jeffrey Giraffe. So I'm Hazen. This is Mitch. This has been the Zord Bay, and thank you for having us today, and hope to see you next time.